Good morning and welcome to Maryland Today. It's becoming a common topic here on the show, reverse mortgages. But there's plenty of information involved in this subject, and it's still evolving. My name is Jeff St. Pierre, and joining me again today is Carmen Jones-Burke. She's a housing counselor at Consumer Credit Counseling Service of Maryland and Delaware. Thanks so much for coming by, Carmen.
Always excited to be here.
So this is starting to become a recurring topic here. We're talking a little bit about reverse mortgages. A few weeks ago, we talked about how seniors can tell if they're a good candidate for reverse mortgage. Today, let's take a look at how to avoid reverse mortgage scams. That is something that you're hearing a little bit more and more about as time progresses. Before we do, let's take a little review here. What exactly is a reverse mortgage?
Simply put, it's a loan that converts the equity into your home into cash, or rather a portion of that equity. No payments are required as long as the borrower continues to live in that home.
So there are different types of reverse mortgages. Can you please tell us a little bit more about them and explain how they vary?
Yes, there are three different types of reverse mortgages. There are single-purpose loans. They are offered by some state, local governments, as well as some nonprofits. And they're always for one specific purpose, which is either going to be home repairs or taxes. They always have income limitations. Then there are proprietary loans. They almost disappeared in 2009. They're offered by individual lending institutions based on their own criteria. What most people are talking about when they refer to reverse mortgage is the home equity conversion mortgage, the HECM. It's the FHA-insured product, so it's also regulated by HUD.
Sounds like there can be a lot of advantages to looking at a reverse mortgage, but how can seniors benefit from taking out this type of reverse mortgage?
HECMs can be a great tool for older homeowners. They can supplement retirement income. They can be used for medical expenses, home repairs or improvements. They can even help you pay off an existing mortgage. Some people use them as part of an overall investment strategy, and in some cases, they're even used to purchase a new home. That said, though, it is a mortgage. It is a complicated product. It's not necessarily appropriate for everyone.
So before locking into a reverse mortgage, what do seniors need to know?
Well, it's certainly important to understand the financial ramifications and the loan's potential impact on heirs and estate. It's very important to recognize how or understand how these loans actually work. It's a pretty complicated product, and that's why reverse mortgage counseling is required by HUD. The goal is to help seniors protect themselves and make more informed financial decisions.
Okay, since you're talking about seniors protecting themselves, how can seniors who hope to obtain this reverse mortgage do that?
First, do some homework.
Okay.
Pretty much read anything and everything you can get your hands on concerning reverse mortgage. And then before you pick a lender, make sure you've gotten comparisons from at least 3 different lenders. That way you do have something to compare. Also, you're only going to want to use lenders that are on the HUD lenders list. That list is available at HUD.gov. Finally, don't sign any loan documents that contain errors or blanks, because if someone's telling you that they're going to go back later and make an adjustment, they're probably setting you up to steal your equity.
Oh, yeah, definitely. That's very good advice right there. Unfortunately, this is the case in a lot of different situations, but unfortunately, scammers target seniors. What do you think, or why do you think this happens?
There's this perception that seniors have assets, even if it's no more than the equity in their home. So what the scammers do is present information in such a way that it appeals to the needs or the desires of that senior. These folks can be quite relentless. They just continually come at a person until they wear them down. And, I think scammers are also targeting seniors because they think there's less chance of getting caught.
Okay.
Often a senior simply doesn't know who to report a scam to, and sometimes they don't even know they've been scammed. When they do figure it out, often they're embarrassed or ashamed.
Yeah.
They're afraid of telling their family members because there's a fear that the assumption's going to be they're no longer capable of taking care of their own financial situation.
So how do these reverse mortgage scammers locate their victims?
Interesting places, believe it or not, at local churches, sometimes at investment seminars, and of course via mailers, advertisements on TV, radio, and the internet. Scammers typically are offering something free money, free homes, investment opportunities, foreclosure prevention, and sometimes assistance in finding a loan.
Well, If they're scammers, I suppose this makes sense, but it does sound like they're pretty savvy in the ways of the reverse mortgages and how they can attract people. So what else can seniors do to avoid being scammed?
Stay away from any unsolicited reverse mortgage advertisements. Now, this is particularly true on the internet. Once you click on that link, who knows where you're going to
Well, if
end
these
up.
seniors are anything like my grandparents, they're not using the internet anyway. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, you never know. Now, don't fall victim to a person claiming to represent a government agency either. We sometimes get phone calls and they claim to represent HUD, the FHA. They're not really calling you. Stay away from anyone who contacts you offering to help you find a reverse mortgage for a fee or a portion of the assets or the proceeds. Avoid promotions that offer you anything free. There's a scam where a senior will be told they can obtain a home for free. They move the senior in, have them take out a reverse mortgage, and guess who gets the money? Well, it's not going to be the senior, and often these individuals are left in homes that they're not going to be able to keep. You also want to avoid offers of bundled services. If a contractor says to you, well, I can get you the money to fix your home, I know someone who offers reverse mortgages. You're going to want to avoid that. The same is true of financial or investment opportunities you may be offered that are encouraging you to take out the equity in your home in order to make that purchase. If a lender downplays the importance of counseling or they steer you to a particular counselor, don't go with that. Pick your own counselor. You might end up not getting the information you actually need. And finally, and most importantly, don't sign anything you don't understand.
Very good advice. And it sounds like there's a lot of different ways to get scammed out there. So what's the best way for seniors to tell if reverse mortgage brokers and loan products they're looking at are actual trustworthy?
First of all, use a lender that's on the HUD lenders list. Again, that list is available at HUD.gov. And when you go to your reverse mortgage counseling appointment, bring the comparisons that the lender has provided you. That counselor is going to be able to help you evaluate the numbers.
We're talking with Carmen Jones-Burke, a housing counselor with Consumer Credit Counseling Services of Maryland and Delaware. A lot of information, as always, being covered today. Great place to start if you're looking to find more information is the website for CCCS. That's cccs-inc.org. So, Carmen, how does effective reverse mortgage counseling help seniors avoid being scammed?
All of the reverse mortgage counselors and Consumer Credit Counseling Services are especially trained and certified. We actually undergo continuing education and we keep up with the industry trends. That's really important. Things change. This means we're able to give clients information they need to make an informed decision. You know what they say, knowledge is power. Well, our goal is to empower people to make the decision that's going to work for them. During a reverse mortgage appointment, we're going to help individuals identify all options that may be potentially available to them. And of course, we're going to have to help them understand the loan products they're looking at. In the end, they walk away with more than a certificate. They've got the information and the resources they need to make that informed decision.
How can seniors go about choosing a reputable reverse mortgage counselor?
Well, the lenders are required by HUD to provide seniors with a list of counseling agencies. Now, you may be tempted to pick the first person you can reach on that list, but what you need to do is make sure you pick someone that you're actually comfortable with. Take your time in having some conversation before you simply pick someone from that list.
So what else should people ask before they choose a counselor?
Well, of course, they're going to ask about the counseling fee. And that's important. The desire is to pay as little as possible for things, but that doesn't mean you should simply make your decision because something is free. I've heard about agencies where the person calls and they're charged the fee immediately, and then I'm getting calls because people don't know who they paid the fee to. At CCCS, there's never any need to be able to pay that fee right up front. You're able to finance it into the closing costs if necessary, and we never turn anyone away because they don't have the ability to pay.
Is the length of the counseling appointment important here?
Definitely important. If somebody tells you that an appointment is going to take 45 minutes or less, I guarantee you're not getting the information that you need. And if you're only focused on getting that certificate to move forward, you're missing a really valuable opportunity to evaluate the impact of the decision you're making. Remember, you're not just trying to get a rubber stamp certificate.
We were just talking about fees there a second ago, but I understand that CCCS is currently providing reverse mortgage counseling for free.
We sure are. It's exciting. CCCS recently received a grant that enables us to provide reverse mortgage counseling to all of our clients without charging a fee. The normal fee is $125, so it's a good savings.
Oh, definitely.
Definitely a good savings. So unfortunately, though, those funds are going to run out. So if you're planning or thinking about getting counseled, now's a good time to call us.
Okay, yeah, so anybody who's listening right now, if you think you might qualify, if you're thinking about taking on one of these reverse mortgages, now is a great time. So how can people who are interested get in touch with you?
Give us a call at 1-866-731-8486 or visit our website at cccs-inc.org. That way you can learn more about all of our services. Now, on that website, you're also going to find an e-learning course under the education section.
Oh, great.
It's called Understanding Reverse Mortgage. Now, it's not a substitute for the required counseling, but it's a good starting point if you're just investigating.
Definitely a good place to get some background information before you really decide to get fully into it. That's awesome.
Definitely.
Well, Carmen, since we are kind of running out of time here, tell us some parting advice. If seniors are considering applying for a reverse mortgage, what would you give them here?
This may seem like a digression, but typically when we think about scams, we're thinking about strangers. The reality is sometimes the problem's much closer to home. So if you're thinking about designating someone as your power of attorney, make sure you evaluate carefully who you are in fact choosing. Consult with an elder law attorney, and they're going to help you remain protected. But the most important thing I can say is if, in fact, you are thinking about going forward, give us a call at CCCS. We're truly looking forward to hearing from you.
Let's hit that contact information one more time.
Phone number is 866-731-8486, and our website is cccs-inc.org.
Well, Carmen Jones-Burke, housing counselor for Consumer Credit Counseling Service of Maryland and Delaware. Always a pleasure to have you here. Thank you so much. Tons of great information today. I really appreciate it.